Hi everyone. Rather than doing a typical movie review, I wanted to talk about the broader landscape of films that have been coming to theaters over the last couple of years, especially in 2024. This includes what we're seeing on streaming platforms as well right now. Specifically, I want to discuss the noticeable change in themes, particularly the loss of joy, and more importantly, the loss of hope in cinematic experiences. Why are we seeing so many grim and joyless films? What happened to uplifting stories that leave us feeling inspired? While hope isn't entirely absent from the cinema, there has been a definite shift, and it's worth talking about. While you're here, I'd love to have you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more. But what's even more important is that I want you to comment below with your thoughts. This is me sharing my ideas, but the conversation is what matters most. And maybe I'm missing something. And maybe there's really a larger problem we need to talk about. So let's address whether this shift in themes, this loss of hope or joy or even empathy in films is something you've noticed too. Why are we drawn to these films? Why do they seem to be dominating the box office in theaters nationwide lately? So let's get into it and let's look at the films that have been taking over theaters recently. Whether it's horror, dark fantasy, or psychological dramas, we're seeing a lot of stories that revolve around the darker sides of life. Take Smile or Smile 2. Both are amazing examples of new horror that introduces a fresh and relevant monster. But there's no denying the relentless, grim trajectory of the films. These movies strip away the possibility for the characters to survive without taking extreme measures that are just as joyless and hopeless as being conquered by the smile entity itself. Even the film's concept of blurring the line between fact and fiction until the entity can just easily take control of its host is kind of suffocating in darkness. Then there's the substance, which also takes us down a very bleak road. It's a brilliant film. It showcases the heartless reality of aging in a society that no longer values you. You follow this used up starlet who feels her only choice is to try this substance that allows her to live as a young woman again, but only on certain days. The catch? It's not her consciousness that experiences the return to youth. And that's actually not something she knows in advance. It's another version of her, while the original self is locked away in darkness until her 7 days are up. There's no hope, no redemption, just the tragic sacrifice of one's own life for a younger version of herself to enjoy. And even Never Let Go, which is an exceptionally good film, twists reality into something deceptive. The film creates a false world where the characters are confined to their house, unable to escape without the risk of death or madness. Even in the resolution, when they finally escape, we're left with this eerie sense that the trauma of their childhood will forever haunt them. It's hard to walk away from films like these without feeling just weighed down by them. So, where are the films that leave us feeling uplifted and hopeful? There are a few, but it's notable that they are almost exclusively aimed at children. The Wild Robot, Harold and His Purple Crayon, Inside Out 2, and If. These are all wonderful recent examples of what cinema can do to lift our spirits. These films are positive, they are joyful, and they're full of hope. They remind us of life's potential and the beauty of transformation. But here's the problem. Again, they're all for kids. And that's not saying that adults can't enjoy them, but they are designed for children. And it feels like there is a cinematic chasm between the films for children and the films for adults. And once we've outgrown all of the animated features and the children's adventures, we're kind of thrown into a darkened theater where joy and hope are difficult to find. Why aren't more films being made for adults that leave us inspired? I mean, when you look at even Star Wars was framed on the idea of hope. But as the years have gone by, it seems like that theme has diminished over time. It's an overwhelming number of adult films that we see that fall into this grim and joyless category. Horror, psychological dramas, dark superhero movies, and grim historical epics. While many of these films are truly amazing stories, why are they dominating theaters like they're doing? Is this really what adults want? Is this only what adults want? Or is this just what studios are giving us? More importantly, what's the impact of these trends on us as viewers? When the majority of films aimed at adults are filled with darkness, where do we find the uplifting, transformative experience that we used to crave? And don't tell me we're not craving it still, because we are human, and that is an essential part of our humanity, is we need joy as much as we need darkness. I can't help but wonder what effect it's having on us as a society. Why are we so drawn to these darker films? And why do theaters keep picking up these grim stories over more hopeful ones? If Hollywood believes this is all that adults want, I'd argue they need to take a closer look at successes like Beetlejuice, or even Deadpool and Wolverine. These movies deal with dark and grim themes, and they still preserve hope at the core of what they are. We laugh, we cry, we leave the theater feeling better because Deadpool and Wolverine, they succeeded in saving the people they care about. And Lydia, she saves her daughter. Both films are hits, proving that adults need and crave positive films just as much as they enjoy the darker ones. Again, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have dark films. I love horror. I love it. They're definitely necessary too. But Hollywood has always worked in cycles. Right now, we seem to be in a phase of darkness, and it is prevalent. But it feels like we've lost the balance. These films, like Beetlejuice, and Deadpool and Wolverine, they are packed with mayhem and grim humor. But at their core, there is hope. And this is what we need more of. We need balance in the theater. So, what do you think? Are we losing hope and joy in our films? Are we getting too much of the dark without the balance of the light? I'd love to hear your thoughts. So, please do drop a comment below and let's chat. Thanks so much, everyone. And don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe for more. I will see you all again soon. For now, happy viewing. Bye.